Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Crucible League 3.21. In this episode, I wanted to start it off first with the Spectres. So we're using these demon harpies. So you can come to my hideout, and by messaging me in the game, my name is Ethan Crucible YT, ask for the demon harpies, and then you desecrate, and you could find the corpse by hold A to see the thing. Honorable mention right now is while we were doing the new league mechanic, walking forge is pretty cool. I might show you it in the video. But you get your Spectre, and you would just raise the demon harpy. And this is easier than raising it from the actual thing through Beyond. So this is the walking forge. It kind of looks like my golems, right? But then when you walk in, they shoot these projectiles on a 6-second cooldown, and they shoot like 7 of them, and they shoot triple cast without any supports. So they're shooting like 21 each, so they're shooting like 63 projectiles with 3 of them, and it's on a 6-second cooldown. Seems to overlap a little bit, does a lot of damage, and then they're pretty cool, but I like the demon harpies for the 60% increased damage taken on the enemy with the scream for the physical damage. This is also, so now build updates, besides just the Spectres. I wanted to update the auras I'm running, because the reservation is different, as, it's the same as the build guide, but I mean, it's changed since previous seasons. So we have this, and we have this. I'm able to run, Pride, Vitality, Precision, Determination after, and that's because I have some mana on the gear. Is it this ring? Yeah, some mana here. I have mana on my shield, mana on the belt. So flat mana really helps when you have all this increased mana through these nodes, this increased mana, and then we have the extra 25 that 25 that we grabbed, the new stuff, and then when we're reserving flat mana through precision and vitality, this helps with when you don't have the 100% vitality reservation, so getting a little bit of mana on your gear. But I don't, in the guide I didn't put like get mana on these items, because I was like, some people might not get any mana, so then I played around that of not requiring the pride, and you just run skitterbots instead. But we're able to run pride now with enough mana, which is really sick. So then these 4 auras, and we don't have Dread Banner yet. The way we would do that is we'd have to get more reservation. So then that would be where we'd probably do Cluster Jewels, or possibly Annoyance, or pathing to this reservation, or other reservation on the tree. This one, etc. Or Cluster Jewels, so that you don't have to path. So what did I prioritize for the build? I went for 6-link right away. After the first thing I did was the +1 wand and the +1 shield. The only reason I did a shield is because people didn't think of the shield, so it was actually cheaper than the wand for basically the same thing, like a little bit of minion damage and +1, or attack speed and +1. I got minion damage and +1, and then I had extra lightning res mana and an open suffix so I could craft, and this one open prefix so I could craft minion damage. Like, it's actually pretty good. And then it's also a convoking one, so I got 30 damage. This one is 10 damage. And then I went for a 6-link. And yeah, I made a mistake with the 6-link. I got life on it, and you probably shouldn't get life. So you can get this mastery, increase max life if there are no life modifiers on your body armor. And then I would have been able to have easy 15% increase max life instead of 22 life. It's way better for sure. And it would have also been cheaper, and I would have got better other stats too. I just didn't think of it at the time. So this is actually worse, having 22 life. And then, yeah, I just prioritized the +1 wand, the +1 shield. You could do a wand, 2 wands, and then you just try to get as much minion damage and attack speed, etc. that you want. Minion crit even. And then I did unset ring, because I wanted an extra socket so I could actually fit all this stuff, and I ended up doing 2 just because I found one that was really good. And I also went for chaos res glove and boot with the move speed, just so I like actually have some chaos res. -52 was insane, but having 32 actually feels pretty good. I can actually tank poison and chaos stuff compared to just melting, just dying. It's pretty insane. And that was just 29 on the glove, which wasn't, it's just T2, 26 to 30. And then the boot was 21 to 25. And then the rings, I prioritized life, 70. And then getting other stuff like Chaos Rest is really hard on the unset rings. Usually I'd have to craft it myself. But this guy, he found a life Chaos Res ring, and it was a Veil ring, so it came from June, and he unveiled Fire Chaos, max rolled 20%. So it's a 33 Chaos ring with 20 fire and 70 light. It's pretty good. And I paid like 5C. And then this ring was just a lot of res and life and mana, and I was like, yeah, this is good. So and it helps me. So and then the extra socket so I can do everything. And then we could obviously go +2s and extra minion damage, extra attack speed, and oh, I got the +2 helmet. This was really big, and on an armor base, so that I got extra armor. We have the 1,000 here, 300 here, 265, so we're at 8,000 without pressing granite, and with granite 16,000. It's getting there. It's getting there. Still need more, but you know, for just starting leveling, it's already pretty big with just these basic items. And yeah, move speed prioritize on the boot 30%. And you don't need this Ami. I could literally just be on an Astra Mantis instead. It's just I found this during leveling and I just haven't replaced it. I did my Eater of Worlds on this, and I didn't drop the ashes. I would have just literally switched to the ashes if I dropped it though. So anything I get that's better than this, I'm gonna replace it. It's just, this isn't that bad actually. 46 attributes and 39 res. It's fine. Like an Astra Mantis is really good too then, right? You just get all the attributes. But build's really solid. Build leveling worked out really well. We're at T16s. Map progression, it looks like this. I already have all that. 93 bonus objectives, 2 void stones. I did the Eater and the and the Exarch. I died to the Meteor and the Exarch, and I think I did the Deathless Eater. That was good. And then I've gone over all the items. +2, +1, +1. And then Chaos Res, because it actually helps a lot. And I ended up getting a little bit on this one, which was lucky, like I said. And the belt is a side jump vice with strength, life, lightning res. I found this, and honestly, this strength replaced the heavy belt, so it was easy. And then I get the extra jewel, where I have life, minion life, fizz damage. It's not the best mods, but it was a jewel I found while I was playing. And I have life, minion Ellie res, minion taunt, minion fizz damage. So the minion Ellie res is really nice, and same with this one. A cobalt jewel with minion Ellie res with minion damage and all attributes. This is capping my minion, so 11 and the 9, so 20 plus the 23 from the tree, that's 43. So they're at 83 with the 8 max res. They're at 83 max Ellie res, and then this is the 30 overcap with the Commander of Darkness and 80 radius, so they'll only die to like exposure and curses outside of your Commander of Darkness radius, which is pretty good because we don't even have aggressive, so the zombies aren't even going out of range. I have this corrupted chestplate, and I don't, this is the reason it's a 5 red. I don't want to, I didn't want to color it because it takes Val Orbs, and that's expensive. I don't have very many. It takes 4 per because you have to use the crafting bench. You can actually color the chestplate. And you can do like 1 blue for 4 socket, for 4 chrome. And then you would get, I was going for 2 blue, 4 red, so I could run minion speed or minion damage, depending on the zombie survivability. If they're not dying, I could just run minion damage, right? But minion speed's really good. And then I could take out Maim. I didn't want to run Maim in my main link. I wanted to run this on the skeletons as a buff to the zombies, while also doing pretty good damage. But this is nice because it actually just works for Blight, where the zombies keep the monsters slowed, because the Maim is a slow, which is really nice for Blight. And then we actually have built in the build, it was this wand. Got minions have 15% chance to hinder enemies on hit with spells. So basically my harpy is slowing them as well by 30%, and I think it stacks because in PoE it just stacks all the slows like it does on you, where in some other games like League of Legends it only takes the highest slow. Yeah. I was realizing this. It's pretty funny. But I put Stone Golem, Race Spectre, Feeding Frenzy. And then we have the Mim. And then for the flask, I got instant 50% recovery fractured on a divine, which is just really lucky. But this is actually what I was going for. The half instant with corrupted blood and bleed immune. And then this is how we get more bleed immune. And then we can to remove the bleed and get a shield. Kind of like a seal skin. And then we can also... I have my Pantheon as the... I don't take extra damage from bleeding because it's so insane when I don't have any phys damage reduction, basically. No endurance charges, etc. And then we also have gotten a shield where the next mod is I cannot be inflicted with corrupted blood. What the heck? So the mods on the new shit is really powerful. You just kind of have to actually like do a lot of them and then have it on a piece of gear that you're actually using. So it's kind of like luck involved. And then I did this ascendancy. I did my Uber lab already. I did it at 87 or something, and I'm at 90 already. And then we have a ruby flask. I just switched this in. I took out the mana flask. I don't need it anymore because I'm not really using the SRS. I can use the SRS, but I just don't really have the buttons for it. Ever since I got the bone armor, the Uber lab. That's what happens. Because, like, look at this. So then, I have ruby flask with ignite immune. I wanted shock immune, but I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. I hate ignite, fuck it. And then increased armor granite, yo. And then I got avoid shock. This isn't ideal. This is just what I got, and I was like, it's okay. And then I got reduced effective shock. And now I said I wanted immune to shock, and this is what I got. So this is why I have this, and it's explained in the video. It's fine. It's not as good, but it technically could be better. Like in some ways because it lasts longer. It keeps the flask lasting 7 and 6.7, where the immunity to shock is reducing the duration like this one. And you can see how a ruby flask actually lasts longer to where it can get a less duration of 38 and still have 7 seconds, which is why I wanted immune to shock on this one. Because it actually has a base longer duration, so even when you reduce it, it's still as long as the other ones, and then they're consistent. Yeah, there's like where you get it is pretty, because this one doesn't reduce the duration, and it's just 7, you see? But if you reduce the duration, it would be like 5, 4, really bad. So you do it on the ruby, or like one of the elemental longer duration, that buff they did, and they only cost 20 instead of 30. Easier to keep up. This one has reduced charges, but then doesn't have the increased duration. So then it would be really short. And I still need quality on these, but we're still building up. And I'm only at 15 instilling orbs. I could buy all this stuff, I guess, and invest my currency, but we're pretty cheap for now. Very budget build. I'd say it was like 80, 90 C. Pretty crazy how cheap it is. I also had, so I mentioned this jewel, and then I also had this one. I found it, a taunt, fizz damage. It was T2. Attack speed, T2 taunt, max rolled, and then extra lightning, and it's like, this is just a pretty good jewel, I guess I'll use it. Especially at the beginning, and then it's a 2-point jewel socket when we kind of ran out of minion damage nodes, so it's like, oh sick, I can have some extra damage, sure man, why not? With the extra side vice too, with the extra fizz. The attack speed's nice, like I said. I've also found this one, and I was looking at it, and it has attack speed, and it has minion evasion. We had one with spell suppression. There's minion block, minion spell block. There's minion freeze. There's so many cool mods. And so it's like you just make a million convoking ones with trees, and you get like crazy trees, and then you craft up a like decent wand, and honestly, that's pretty good, dude. That's Crucible, and it's actually pretty simple, and then there's min-maxing and all that later, but just getting like a little bit out of it, actually it gives you quite a lot, is my point. It gives you like, just make one, like have one that you use, and then be rolling new ones, basically is what I'm saying. And don't like worry about like, you see how I have all the normal gear still? Yeah, obviously we're not getting all the power just from this tree, but the fact that you could just have, in my case, a basic tree with 10 damage, some minion base crit. That's just good. Minion LE res. I'm getting some of it from here, but I don't want you to have to rely on getting a Crucible passive skill tree that has minion LE res to cap your minions LE res. Yeah, no. So then I have the hinder from here too, which is also special. You could get hinder through a ghastly jewel, but it's only the demon harpy scream, which is a long cooldown, so it isn't 100% uptime of the hinder, so it's not really that great. It's just that I got it for free on the wand. Like I'm saying, you can just get free mods on the wand and it's fine, and you don't have to get a perfect Crucible passive tree right now, and you can just take minimal power from the Crucible, and it's actually just free power. This doesn't take away from my wand, it doesn't make the wand worse, it just is more free stats. And then like this one, I got the 3 fizz as lightning, and well, I don't like this one, and I should probably refund it, but I wanted the corrupted blood, so that's why I'm going through it. I'm reducing my life so I could get corrupted blood, but then it increases effective exposure on me. But I have LE res, so we should be good. I don't know, we'll see. It's pretty interesting all around. It reminds me a little bit of Scourge, where you have the upsides and the downsides. Powerful upsides. Oh my god, is he gonna show me it? Look, this is happening right when I'm recording the video. No, he didn't get it. But, oh! +2 socketed minion on a clay shaper. Okay. And he also got... what the hell? Phasing on kill. Minus endurance. Rip. 16 minion move speed. 16 LE res. Minions take reduced damage. +2 socketed minions take reduced damage. Dude, it's pretty cool. Oh, he also had on the first one 25 minion spell suppression, which is like, wow, that's a lot. That's insane. Reduced max life, but then they get life recovery rate, which is kind of a good trade-off, because oh look, it even shows how this one has reduced life recovery rate but increased max life, and you get more max life. But this is also, yeah, it reduced goes against increased, so it would be a plus of 15, and you would only be, and you would be +5 life recovery rate as well. You're actually net positive with these two, and I'm sure you could find a lot more of those combinations too. Oh yeah. So this is pretty much why I'd actually, it's perfect timing that he shows this. It's like, this is why I say you should just worry about just getting your basic stuff and progressing, and like, you know, getting your links and your gems and your sockets and, you know, the normal, like get the levels and scale normally. And then later we can worry about making build specific stuff with these passive skill trees. Cause I don't find getting the passive skill trees very difficult. It's actually pretty nice. It's pretty enjoyable. And then there's just some RNG involved, of course, and you have to do it a lot. And then that's the whole point. So you have to get a build situated to where you can actually do the Crucible, and then it's more of a mechanic. And then my last tip would be that you do the bar to half. Don't do it all the way, because I think it's exponential, and so halfway is like, let's say 40-60 deli, and it's actually pretty okay. But as soon as you're going to the 100%, it starts to get like crazy multipliers, and it's definitely way harder. All right. I wanted to show you 2 things at a Crucible that I figured out. So the first one was I was going to show you doing a Crucible, because I want to show you that. But you take a scouring. Now I'm not going to use it because it's going to do the thing that I don't want to do, but pretty much you can go into your thing, you take your scouring, right click, and you can actually scour the skill that you've already unlocked. So you see how I said I maybe don't want this, and I've already unlocked it, and I bricked my shit, and I lose life. I could actually click scouring right here in this option when you're at the Crucible, and it'll delete it, and it'll delete all the XP, but I don't want to do it right now because I want to go for this. So when you're charging up, look at the bar, and it starts to glow in red, and then when it starts to shake, you should maybe get off, and that's when it's getting too difficult. When it starts to shake really vigorously, that's when you've overdone it. If your build's still, like, if you're still in the leveling and scaling, like, this mechanic can be pretty hard if you felt overwhelmed with it. Yeah, and that's the way to get simple one. And then the amount of unlock we got was pretty good. You do that a few times, and then I've even had the monsters dropping loot sometimes. And I've also got a geode. Let me show you that. So I showed you the scouring thing, and I also showed you how to not overdo it with it, and how to understand how the bar's filling. And sometimes you'll actually be able to hold it for longer before it starts going red and shaking, and sometimes you'll be able to hold it for less and it starts shaking immediately and you just have to get out. It's random. So there's like a variance to it. So I got this, and this one's pretty cool, really deadly. Beyond portals, 80% max life as ES and can't block, but you get 50% chance to draw divination cards that grant unique weapons from the rare and unique monsters, and contains a forge that can combine Crucible passive skill tree. So you can combine them, remember, to make it even easier to get the crazy combinations, instead of just doing it through pure RNG, which this sounds like the real way to be getting the higher, crazier stuff and to be min-maxing in the future, rather than just pure RNGing it. Because the amount you'd have to do from what we've been seeing, yeah, it is the combining thing. Oh yeah, this is really big too. Everyone's been saying, because I didn't make a video about what my Atlas passive skill tree would be. So this is my Atlas passive skill tree. You already saw a map a little bit, but I did all the map sustain first. I went up, grabbed the map sustain, and I grabbed stream of consciousness when I was passing by. So I had all the map sustain. It's 100% chance to be one tier higher for the maps found. Huge. Then I said, dude, I'm loving Strongbox. Holy shit, it's so good. So then because my first Divine Orb was a Strongbox, I think. And then I took this stuff to get the operative Strongbox for Scarabs, and I got corrupted rare Strongboxes. Then you have to be careful, obviously, of Freeze, and you have to be careful of the Ice Nova and the DD, Detonate Dead, of the corpses nearby. So just, most of it is just open the box, run away through off screen, and then come back, and it's safe that way. And then extra Strongbox, and I got the duplicate divination cards, duplicate currency. So I went full Strongbox, and I've been doing ambush on my map device in red maps and higher. I've been loving this. Basically, when I want to actually clear the map, I put ambush on it. When I don't want to clear it, well, I don't want to waste the currency then if I'm not going to clear it, because I have to go find the Strongbox. And then I also decided to invest into this Blight for the lucky chest, and the 80% chance, more chance for the Blight chest to contain Blight maps. I wanted Blight maps, and then I also went for the chance for Blight because I wasn't spawning it enough. Even with blocking all of these mechanics, I blocked Breach, Expedition, Harvest, Legion, and I had Stream of Consciousness. It wasn't spawning enough, so I did this. I still wanted a little bit more too, so I actually got the extra 8% from down here too. Pretty good Blight spawn chance now. And then I got the Oil Extractor one, and the oils being higher. And then I also got the Blight Boss's additional reward. I'm going to get Distilled Fungus. And then I'm also going to get Enduring Influence now that I have Void Stones. So I can put Sextants and have an extra use. But, yeah, the main thing was I got all the Blight. I believe that's all the Blight too. Oh, I'm missing this, which is just the towers doing more. And the monsters taking more damage, making it easier. And I don't have the making it faster. And reducing the cost, and the more non-unique, and the free like Blight map crafting option, because I'm already using the ambush every time, and then I'm not going for the 10% chance to get a free one. Yeah. Yep. That's what I did for that. Save the points. I'm sure I could save some more. Oh, and then because I have this now, I've been getting maps with Blight enchant on it, which is really cool. So then I won't even need the chance for Blight when I run those ones, so that saves me even more. And that sustain's been pretty nice. And then you could also run it with singular focus, so every map you're running you could run the ones that get the free Blight, for example, or even the other one where you do the free deli. This is really cool, actually. That's really, really sick, because it's an extra enchant that you don't normally use, and it's a free Scarab or a free Sextant or the free points on my tree saved. But I've been really liking this tree because Blight and Strongboxes been really rewarding, been making a lot of currency. Already at 4 Divine Orbs pure. I got a 2 Divine Orb drop from my Strongbox, 1 Divine Orb, and then I sold this staff for a Divine Orb, and then I've only spent like 90C on the build, and it's doing pretty good. And then I was going to show you, this is T14. There was one more thing. Oh, I'm filling on my atlas. Yeah, let's go. And then yeah, I've been doing blight. Oh, I was gonna show you my blight maps. I have like 4 still. I have 2 uber blight maps and 2 normal ones again, and I've already done 6 T11 or higher blight maps, so I've been getting a lot of them. And I had like 4 T13s. Oh, nice. Double currency, double divs. So this is the. So then I was also gonna say that you could run Mistress instead of Plaguebringer, so that your phase run is infinite. I also put efficacy support. I just have to level it up, and then with the extra quality on the duration, I'll be able to get a 4-second phase run. But for now, or if I get the implicit on the boot through the Eldritch currency of the reduce cooldown recovery rate of the travel skills, I could do that too. But yeah, this is pretty good. And then I took out this SRS and just put in Phantasm added lightning just because I have the extra socket because of the unset ring, and I don't have currently the Dread Banner or the Generosity just because of the colors. And I have this weird like double blue 2 green red glove, so I just kept it because it's kind of funny, and that's why the precision doesn't have Generosity. So there's 2 things I want to show. My Glassblowers baubles were like 30, so I can go to Whalem and I can trade my blacksmith whetstones for these. So I got another 20, 20, 45, and then I could get more of the blacksmith whetstones, and I could get more of those. We don't really need weapon quality in our builds usually, so then we have tons of the Glassblowers baubles. And then the other thing is I bought some of the instilling orbs, 10 for 18C, kind of expensive. But the main thing that I wanted to show was take, let's say, the granite flask for example, and then use when charges reach full, 5/5. Better than just rolling it, because look how many mods there are. So just it's easier just to craft it, cheaper. Definitely recommended. Crafting bench is so sick. Upgrading the flasks is the last thing I'm going to do, so now I have all these automated flasks. It's really sick, all qualityed up, they last longer, they got, oh my god, that's going to be really nice for the build. And then I'm probably going to upgrade them, and I'm not going to worry about like the extra cost to add the instilling to the next one, and the extra cost of the quality for the Glassblowers baubles. Like, I'm good now. I have my first set of flasks ready to go, and like I said, I would have rathered immune to shock, but there are benefits of having it like this. Yeah. Pretty nice. Technically the avoid shock doesn't work on the shock ground though, unless you're avoid shock 100%. That's one of the problems with that. If you've ever used a flask in Path of Exile, then like the video. And if you guys like the video and you're new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified of the next one, because this was just the day 1 build diary of this Crucible League, and it's a long league, so look forward to the rest of it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Now I'd like to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys so much for the support. Rico549, David, Stephen with a PH, Stephen with a V, Cynic, Hannes, Lewis, Nicholas, White Wolf, and N8. Thank you guys so much for the support. Bye!